God doesn't reward passivity. He rewards bold action. So if you want the how, the prosperity, the who, the what, it's up to you to step up, lean in, even in the face of doubt, fear, uncertainty, and take action. And He will reward you. That's what He does. God doesn't just pour into you by you just sitting there.
Before we dive into today's episode, I am so happy you're here watching the YouTube video version of it. And I want to personally invite you into She Leads. This is my free online community where you are going to meet like-minded women who are walking out in faith, creating a new relationship or building on their current relationship with God. This is a place where all of who you be is welcomed and you're curious about God. You want to strengthen your faith. You want to bring more of God into your life, what that looks like, what that feels like. She Leads is where I lead a Sunday at 4 p.m. EST call every single week. I bring through Bible verses, stories from the Bible, and I relate them to specific topics each Sunday. So you'll see the link to join She Leads below. Come and join us, and I would love to pour into you in that container. All right, let's get into today's episode.
Welcome to the Embodied Woman Podcast. If you are new, hello. Welcome. If you are a regular, welcome back. FYI, this podcast is also officially now on YouTube. So if you are like me, when it comes to watching podcasts, it's one of my favorite things. You can now do that with this show. So you'll find the link for the YouTube channel in the notes below if you're listening. And if you're watching this on video, hello, hi. So good to have you here in my living room. I've got my Unteam University sweatpants on, a t-shirt, comfy, feeling a vibe, ready to pour into you. So welcome. So happy to have you here. Today, we are going to be talking about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. When it comes to leadership, especially bold and courageous leadership, y'all, if I can lead boldly the way that I do, you can too. And maybe you're already leading boldly and you're here to turn up the volume a little bit, to lean a little more in, then this episode is going to support you. No matter what type of leader you are a leader. And we've talked about leadership here on the podcast before. This, we're really leaning into bold leadership and leading with courage and confidence. And another episode I'd recommend listening to is the 8 signs that you are a visionary, and the episode on shifting from self-led to God-led. Those are also very supportive, leadership-focused episodes. So we're going to dive into bold leadership, and I want to plant the seed that if you had told me 12 years ago, the version of me 12 years ago, that I would be on a platform where I'm speaking to thousands of people. I've been on many stages, spoken to thousands of people on stage. I have supported thousands of clients up to this point. I would not have believed you. I'm going to be real. I would have laughed in your face and thought, no way would I be leading anyone, anything, because I have severe social anxiety. There's no way. So much so that when I was at my 9 to 5, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, what is time? A long time ago, I would call out sick on the days that I had team meetings because I didn't want to have to speak in front of a group of more than 6 people, let alone 3 people. When I would go check out at the grocery store, I would break out in hives because I had so much social anxiety. being a leader, let's say in even growing up in school, I was definitely not the one to lead group projects. I was never the first one to raise my hand. Frankly, I was the last one. I was the one sliding down in my seat, avoiding being heard and seen. I was so shy, so insecure, had so much self-doubt, lacked confidence, all of the things internally. Like I really struggled with that. I masked it and tried my best to fit in, to show up, but it wasn't boldness. It wasn't confidence. It wasn't courage. And so I plant this seed because fast forward to now, if I can be doing what I'm doing and leading courageously and leading other women to lead courageously, anyone can strengthen this leading with boldness and courage muscle. Anyone. And so I pray that gives some hope to someone who might be on that fence of kind of shining your light, kind of showing up. Who am I to be a leader? Imposter syndrome, self-doubt. It's a muscle, but it takes the want, the drive, the dedication to strengthen it. And today I am going to provide you with different key principles of what needs to be, or components that need to be in place in order for you to lead boldly. So buckle up, we go in there. I want to start off with a few questions. What does it really mean to you to lead with confidence? What does it mean to you to lead with confidence? To step fully into your power as a leader, trusting in your purpose and God's plan for you. What does that mean for you? So bold leadership is stepping into your authentic power, trusting God's guidance and leading with integrity and courage. God's guidance, integrity, and courage, authentic power equals bold leadership. Write that down. It's about aligning your actions with your divine purpose. Alignment with divine purpose also is bold leadership. These are the pieces that need to be in place for you to really step into this next level of leadership. And again, like I mentioned, I understand that there's absolutely women listening who have doubt of their leadership skills, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of being too much, fear of being canceled, whatever it is. I get it. And though, when you acknowledge these and realize that this is a common thing and you don't have to run from it, you're able to see that these challenges are here to strengthen you. And to remember that with faith, you can move through them and you can step more fully into your God-given assignment. And that's what it's all about. So it's okay to have those feelings. It's normal. And also, let's move through it, because choosing to not move through them, choosing to stay stuck in them, that's actually not normal. And I am not here to enable that. So if you have any of those stories and those fears, raising my hand, you'll never get to a place where you'll never have imposter syndrome or a little bit of fear of failure or etc., whatever it is, fill in the blank. You'll never get there to be perfect, because we're not perfect people. There are still moments where I absolutely fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, but I face it anyways and I alchemize it. And when it comes to that imposter syndrome, I'm always reminding students in the university, clients, that it is a sign that you are expanding, that you are leveling up. It's a good thing to have imposter syndrome. Welcome it. Bold leadership isn't just about taking charge. It's about trusting and getting God's plan for your life and leading with clarity, conviction, and courage. It's not just about taking charge, going first. It's about trusting God's plan and showing up with that clarity, with that conviction, and with that courage, knowing the how, the who will fall into place. So being bold also doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. You'll never have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. Thank God, hallelujah, because that means I'm always on a path of seeking more of His wisdom and therefore accessing deeper levels of knowledge, which builds my toolkit to be able to support myself, my life, lead myself, lead others. Because in order to lead others, we have to learn how to lead ourselves. And that comes with remembering that we don't have all the answers. So if you are hesitating, leaning into your next iteration, your next level of your business, your leadership, but I don't know enough, I don't have the answers. What if I don't know how to support someone? You'll never have all the answers, but you have the answers to the person that's just a few steps behind you. And that's all that matters, is that you are a few steps in front of who you're here to support. And you have the answers for them. And if you come up against a situation where you don't have the answer, tell them. Either refer to them to someone else, research it, get back to them. That's just embodied leadership. And so remembering it's not about having all of the answers, but it's showing up and leading anyways. It also means that you trust that God has equipped you with everything you need to move forward in this season right here, right now. God will only give you what you need. He will never give you more or less. He will always give you what you need. What a relief. This is great news. Are there things He's going to give you that challenge you, that build you, that create resilience? Yes, that's amazing. That's great news. That is great news. But that doesn't mean He gave you something you can't handle. So therefore, where you're at right now, trust that the wisdom, the knowledge that God's giving you in this season is more than enough to lead boldly, to move forward, because someone behind you needs you to step up. They need you to lead boldly with confidence so they can follow along. Because leaders don't just create followers. Leaders create leaders. It starts with followers. It starts with students, but then it levels up into leaders. Women in the university, the women who come in and play all out and show up and they lead and they shine, they do the work, they become leaders. We even have leaders, literally titled leaders, the student leaders in the body of the university who leads student-led elective calls. Because these women over time have shown up, they've done the work, and therefore I utilize this platform for them to be seen, to be heard, to shine, and to be able to support the other students as their peer-led leaders. So this is the power of leaders calling in students to then create leaders out of them. But before you do that, you have to be a bold leader first. People need a leader to look up to, not pedestal, but to look up to because they see them leading boldly. They see them leading courageously. So if you are calling clients who are so stoked, who are ready to ride with you, that means you need to lead by example. So now we're going to drop into some key components of bold leadership. Number one, clarity. Bold leaders are clear on who they are, what they stand for, and where they're going. Who they are, what they stand for, and where they are going. Key component, number one, clarity. Clarity in your purpose, grounded in faith, is the foundation of confidence in leadership. Clarity. You have to have clarity. Who you are, what you stand for, what you're getting behind, where you're going. People need to see that you're clear on where you're going. They might not get where you're going, but they see that you're clear, they're going to follow you. If they see that you see a light, they're going to follow you, inevitably. because they're not going to follow someone that's wandering around, not clear who they are, wishy-washy, all over the place, uncertain, insecure. They're not they're not going to follow someone like that. You might get clients, but they're going to be needy, victims, scarcity, lack, all of the things. Therefore, it's really important to make sure that you're clear. Lead yourself through this. Lead yourself into who you be, what you stand for, and then go from there. When you have clarity on your God-given mission, we talk about this in university all the time, the rest becomes easier. Your steps will be ordered, and your path will be made straight. Your steps will be ordered, and your path will be made straight. Period. When you have clarity and you take bold action on it, God will provide the steps, the how, and your path will be made straight. You'll know exactly where you're going. And hello, isn't that such good news? Such good news. So when it comes to, I'll share a personal example for me, how I've fully trusted the clarity of God's guidance. I shared this before as an example, but this one, it continues to be such a good one. When I made the transition from Untamed to Untamed University, from non-faith-based, faith-rooted, to faith-based, faith-rooted. Doesn't matter, doesn't have anything to do with religion, with your relationship with God. It's about you wanting to walk more in faith, therefore trusting to a higher power, whatever that is for you. Because Untamed University is all about where whoever you be is welcomed. And therefore, when I took that jump, I had the clarity. God gave me the clarity. This is where I'm taking you. This is what to do. This is how to do it. And the transition was beautiful. I felt embodied, confident, bold, courageous. God's favor was on my lap, on my life. And therefore, I was able to bring my community with me through sharing that clarity. But I had to trust. I had to have faith. I had to have clarity in my purpose, who I am, what I stand for, where I'm going. I have, for my personal brand, your personal brand, I'll harp on this for a long time. Your personal brand is the most important asset in your business, period. My personal brand since day one has been unapologetic authenticity. Since day one. Who I be is what you get. And that has built trust, consistency with my audience. And therefore, as I made that pivot, that shift that God gave me clarity on and guided me through, it was easy to be able to share that because I've always been authentic, unapologetically in my personal brand. So for those of you listening who you kind of lack clarity with your business, you kind of think you know what you stand for, where you're going, the vision that you have, but it's still wishy-washy, it's because your personal branding isn't clear. That's the reality. When your personal brand is clear, your message is clear, your mission statement is clear, your core values are clear, then you can effortlessly tell people what you get behind and attract the ideal person again and again and again and again. And that is good news. So number one, clarity. Bold leaders are clear on who they are, what they stand for, and where they're going. And that's just it's a huge piece. And number one, for sure. Second key component for bold leadership is integrity. So leading with integrity means staying true to God's calling, for you making decisions that align with your faith, and staying consistent with your values. This is why in fall semester for the university, the first lesson that dropped in the first course within the curriculum was core values. And it was exactly what every single student needed. The amount of women who were mind blown that they had never set aside time to focus on their core values in their business. They kind of did it in their life, but never in their business. was, I would probably say, 99% of the women. And after going through that, 3 months into the semester, they all were able to say that was the lesson that changed the game for them. And it built the most solid foundation for their business. And that is incredible. So when you have your core values in place for your business, if you don't, I would jump on that. And we're going to be able to make the fall semester accessible to women in winter semester, FYI. So stay tuned for that. For those of you who are joining us for winter semester, you'll be able to have access to kind of upsell into that. So a bold leader knows that integrity is non-negotiable, period. You lead in a way that honors God. And when faced with challenges, even when faced with challenges, God's strength, gives you the courage to stand firm in your values. This means you walk the walk. You walk the walk. Johnny did, again, I'll use the universal example because this is just like so fresh and it's just real. It's just real. Johnny did a seminar in the fall semester around leadership. It ended up being the most favored guest seminar of the whole semester, which is so fun, as is my husband. And it was so lovingly convicting to the students, where he really called us up and reminded us what integrity really is. If you say you're gonna not hit the snooze button and get up, and you don't hit you hit the snooze button, you lost integrity. If you say you're gonna get off your phone and stop scrolling on Instagram by 8 p.m. and you don't do that, you've lost integrity. If you say you're gonna do one thing and you don't do it, small or big, you are out of integrity. And when you're out of integrity, you lose confidence. And when you lose confidence, that shows up in how you don't or do lead boldly. When you do what you say you're going to do, small, medium, big, that builds confidence. And confidence compounded over time leads to bold, courageous leadership. And people right now are craving real, raw, in integrity, authentic leadership. But only you know where you're in integrity and out of integrity. I'm just here to share the message and lovingly convict you if that's what you need right now. If there's things that you said you're going to do and you haven't done yet, well, then this is your sign that if you want to be a bold and courageous leader who attracts the most incredible clients, then it's time for you to follow through on what you said you're going to follow through on, small, medium, or big, because that bleeds into every area of our lives. Even when, again, faced with challenges or crunchy situations where it's easier to pick the easier path and harder to pick the harder path. Well, one's in integrity and one is out of integrity. Which do you choose? What type of leader do you want to be? Who do you want to attract in your life because of that integrity decision-making choice? Consistent confidence is built through consistent follow-through. And when you have consistent follow-through, that shows up in how you lead yourself and how you lead in your business, period. So that's key component number 2. Third one here, courage. Bold leadership requires the courage to take risks, step out in faith, and trust that God will guide you into the unknown. If you have been hiding, if God has been nudging you to lean into something, and you have the story of, I'm not ready, I don't have enough time, all these excuses, well, you're only hurting yourself, your business, and your leadership, and your future clients. Your future clients need you to make courageous decisions, bold moves, even in the face of uncertainty, even in the face of doubt. That's the reality. And so when you turn up that courage muscle by not relying on your own strength, but God's strength, you have the ability to do the scary thing, even in the face of the unknown, of uncertainty. You have the courage to go first, to lean in. So if you want to be a bold leader, you've got to learn how to be courageous. And it's a muscle. It takes consistency, just like integrity.
Excuse me as I interrupt today's episode. This is going to give a little bit of a commercial vibe, but I'm here to share something that is going to serve you and support you should you feel this call. Currently, the doors for student enrollment for Untamed University are currently open for winter semester. If you are ready to step more fully into your God given assignment, to play all in, to create the impact and income you're here to create, I welcome you to join us inside the university. This winter semester, it is 3 courses in one container. First one is all about personal branding. This is the key to magnetic marketing, to attracting your ideal clients, to standing out amongst the noise. So no matter where your business goes, the pivots you take, the iteration that it makes, your personal brand is the greatest asset you have, something that people keep buying into again and again. Second course is all about building a thriving community. Without a thriving, raving community, you have no one to sell to. You have no one to invite into again and again on a customer journey. So I'm going to teach you how to do that through a course each Monday. A 30-minute pre-recorded course drops every Wednesday. This is the whole semester. Every Monday, a course drops. Every Wednesday, open office hours from 1 to 2 p.m. EST. You get to get on a Zoom call with me, other students, ask me questions, mastermind, move the needle. It's incredible. And then into the third course, which is the third month of the winter semester, is all about monetization. I'm going to teach you how to create lead magnets, high converting offers, high converting funnels, so you can start to monetize your business in a scalable, sustainable way. Throughout the whole semester, we're going to be doing that. But that month is going to be amplified in such a big way because your personal brand is magnetic, because your community is solidified. So if you want to step more fully into your God-given assignment and make sure that your business is thriving to the capacity at which it's ready to thrive, make sure to enroll in winter semester right now, today. The link is in the notes below, or you can head to theuntameduniversity.com. You'll see everything about winter semester there. And I hope to see you joining us in that powerful community of women who are ready to also welcome you and grow alongside you. All right, back to today's episode.
So courage is about having zero fear. I still have fear of judgment, fear of abandonment, but I catch it. And I remember those are lies. I remember who and whose I am. And then I lean into it anyways. So having courage doesn't mean you don't have fear. It means leaning in anyways and being able to step up and step into accordingly to your God-given assignment, which requires obedience, boldness, trust, faith. That together, God's favor is all up on there. And your courage is only going to be amplified again and again and again. And people will get behind that. People will see that and they're going to think, I want some of that. Show me how you're doing that. I want by proxy to be able to pick that up. This is the power of being in community with women who are also leading courageously, who are learning how to lead even more courageously as we lift each other up, we inspire each other, we shine together. And it's powerful. I would admit out here too, bold leaders move forward even when it's uncertain. Bold leaders don't hesitate. Bold leaders don't hesitate. We don't stand there and think, oh, should I? I don't know. Let me look at all the risks, the doubt, the lies, the resources, the time. No, bold leaders, they go. Yes, they make smart, informed decisions. They go to God first, they pray on it, and then they go. And then they go. Bold leaders move forward, period. They don't look back. They go forward. They don't compare where they've been with where they're going. Bold leaders don't compare where they've been with where they're going. They constantly choose to lean into the possibilities of where God is guiding them and strengthen into their courage, their confidence, their knowingness, their faith, their trust, and show up every single day in that. Period. Next one here. We're at number 4. The key component for bold leadership: consistency. Leadership is a daily commitment. It's a daily commitment. It's something wishy-washy, toe dipping. Nope, it is a daily commitment. Bold leaders show up consistently, relying on God's guidance and strength to keep going, even when, not if, even when things get tough. Even when things get tough. Another reason to be in community of women who are walking this walk. So when business gets tough, when life gets tough, you have women to lean on, to encourage you, to remind you who and whose you are. And that is powerful. That is irreplaceable. That ROI is infinite. Consistency in your leadership is built on the trust of God's plan. You keep going step by step with Him leading the way. This is where people fall prey to relying on motivation to get things done. Motivation as an entrepreneur is one of the worst things that you can rely on. Because when you are having a day where you're lacking motivation, you don't know what to post, you're kind of down on yourself, life is lifing, well, guess what? No song is going to motivate you enough on those days to go all in, to stay consistent, to be in your holy hustle, not push, in your holy hustle. But when you know who you are, when you have integrity, when you have your core values, when you're in alignment with your purpose, when you are in alignment with your personal brand, your why, your mission statement, you don't need motivation. I don't need motivation. I don't go for motivational posts. I don't look for motivational quotes. No, I remember my mission statement, my why, the courage I have, God's strength, and that's what gets me up and going on the days that I don't want to be consistent. Because guess what? There are days where I don't want to do what I said I'm going to do, but I do it anyways because I am here with a big God-given assignment, as are you. So therefore, where in your life have you been wanting to be consistent, but you haven't been, and expecting different results? Where have you been relying on motivation to get you through, and it's actually the thing that's keeping you stuck? Where in your life have you been wanting to show up more boldly in, more courageously in, but, lie, and you've actually believed them time and time again, and then you get stuck in this loop? Well, it's time to snap out of it, to hop out of it, and to show up accordingly. Because sister, you listening right now, you are someone with a big God-given assignment. You would not be listening to this podcast otherwise. Whether you already know that, you've accepted it, you're already in it, it is time to turn up the volume, turn up the heat, and lean in. So therefore, if you want to lead more boldly, more unapologetically, it requires consistency, even on the days that you don't want to. And what I teach about in the university is making sure you have systems and structures and automation set up. So on the days where life is lifing, you actually have systems that keep your business going without you having to show up in it. So that is a massive pro tip. The need to have systems and structures and funnels in place in your business is a non-negotiable if you don't want to have to keep relying on being on a hamster wheel. What a gift. What a gift. So the first one, clarity, integrity. It's so much deeper than like the classic, just be integrity. right? Make sure you follow your word. Yes. But it's make sure you do the big, little, small things and everything in between when you say you're going to do them. Otherwise, you're going to lose confidence. People are going to feel that. And that's the reality. Third one, courage. Fourth one, consistency. Those 4 key components of bold leadership are your stepping stones, your catalyst, your launch pad to calling forward the people who you are meant to serve. They want to see you lead with clarity. They want to see you lead with integrity, with courage, with consistency. They want to buy into that. It starts with you. How to step into your leadership power is the next piece I'm going to go into. Step 1, own your vision with purpose. Own your vision with purpose. What this means that God has placed a purpose on your heart that is uniquely yours. If the vision is in you, it's for you. If God has placed a vision in you, it's for you. So as you step into your leadership power, because you're leading boldly, make sure that you are owning your vision and your purpose. To lead boldly, you have to start owning your vision and walking towards it, running towards it. So people can say, I don't know where she's going, but I love the energy. I love the purpose. I love the passion. I love her clarity. Count me in because I want that too. That's the leader that people are creating right now. The type of leader that people are creating right now are people who are going for it, who are jumping in the arena, who are trusting God, who are putting God first. That is who people want to follow right now. Be that person. Step 2, set boundaries that align with your leadership. So boundaries are essential to protect your energy and your time. Bold leaders set healthy boundaries, knowing what they need space for, when they need space for. They prioritize their time with God. They prioritize their time outside. They make sure they set boundaries. So to be a bold leader, you have to have boundaries in place. Not everyone gets access to you. This is why I have very clear containers on how to work with me and what the capacity is. I have very fierce boundaries because I have a big God-given assignment. I protect my energy so I can keep leading boldly for my community, for my clients, so I can keep pouring out what God pours into me. I've got Shoe Beads, which is our free community. Every Sunday, 4 p.m., I lead a call. And there's a chat and there's a platform that everyone can connect with, engage with each other. I've got the collective, which is my membership, an entry level. I've got the Untamed University. I have my mastermind, Expand, and the Untamed Experience, which is how to get with me in person, along with VIP weekends here in Charleston. So I have very clear ways to work with me. Otherwise, I don't have to respond back to DMs. I don't have to get back to people. I do because that's the type of leader I want to be, but there's no expectations there because I have the boundaries set. It's not about being above or being prideful. It's actually about taking care of yourself enough where you're taking care of your community to set the boundaries in place. That is bold leadership. The next piece, trust yourself and trust God's plan. So how to step into your leadership power? Number 3, trust yourself and trust God's plan. Trust, again, that God has equipped you with the tools, that with the wisdom, right? The heart to lead, the knowingness on where to go, what to lean into. And when you have that trust in yourself and trust in God's plan, who wants to follow you will trust you because they see you trusting God. They're going to jump on that. Not everyone, but the right people. The right people will see that and feel that and be magnetized to that. Step 4, lead by example. Lead by example. This goes without saying, but in order to become a bold leader and now step into that power, you have to lead by example. As a leader, you are called to show others what it looks like to live boldly, to lead in faith, showing others what it means to trust in God's plan and take action. As a bold leader, it is your job to show your community, your clients, what it looks like to live boldly. Period. Like, if you don't want to be a bold leader, this message isn't for you. And not everyone's meant to be a bold leader. Not everyone's cut out to be a bold leader. But those of us who are, we're here. We're in. We're going. We're in the arena. And that is such a gift that keeps on giving. But it requires that we're constantly leading by example. This is something that I am so grateful God has instilled this gift and this guidance and the wisdom within me, even before I made it a priority in my life. I have always led by example. People either liked it or were repelled by it. That's why my personal brand is unapologetic authenticity. I've always led by example. I don't know any other way to live. To be real, I don't know any other way to live than to lead by example. It makes me want to crawl out of my skin to even think about not leading by example or being inauthentic. It just doesn't compute in my brain. And so for you, what does it look like to lead by example in your unique way, in your personal brand, in your leadership style? And to keep showing people what that looks like in that bold way, in that courageous way. What decisions do you need to make today that will help propel you and your business to the next step? Is it the university? Is it mentorship? Is it community? I don't know what it is. You know what it is. But in order to call in community and clients that grow with you, you have to lead by example. You have to make bold moves, courageous decisions, even in the face of fear, even in the face of excuses. That's what it means to lead boldly, is leading by example, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it humbles you, even when it humbles you. We have to lead by example. I am constantly being humbled to lead humbly, to remind my clients, everyone listening to this on Instagram, that I am a perfectly imperfect, broken human, period. What a gift. Like, what liberation and freedom that is. And that's leading by example. I'm not here to be perfect. I don't want to be put on a pedestal. Knock me off the pedestal that anyone has put me on. Like, that is not my role. Therefore, I need to make decisions and lead accordingly that show that I am leading by example humbly, in service, like in gratitude, again and again and again. So what does that look like for you? So when I give you the final piece here, some steps to cultivate, constantly strengthen this muscle of your bold leadership. 3 things. Number 1, pray and reflect daily. Pray and reflect daily. Every morning, pray. God, how do you want to use me today? God, in what ways am I still hiding the truth of who I be? God, in what ways am I still playing small, dimming my light, having insecurity, doubts, fear? Light that up and give me the wisdom to move through it. Pray for all of this. Pray for courage. Pray for boldness. Pray for humility. Pray for integrity. Whatever you need, pray and it will be answered. Pray and it is done. Again and again every day. Reflect at the end of the day. How did I do? How was I bold? How was I courageous? Again and again. Every evening reflect how you did. Take inventory. Second one, surround yourself with like-minded leaders. Who you surround yourself will influence how boldly or not boldly you lead. If you're hanging with people who aren't bold leaders, well, guess what? You're not going to level up in the leadership that you want to level up in. But when you get into the spaces and you surround yourself with like-minded women who are leading boldly, you by proxy will level up and lead boldly with them. That's how community works. So make sure you are surrounding yourself with women who are all in, playing all out, rising with you. And that's what's going to lift you up in the days that you have the doubt, you have the fear, you have the insecurities. This is the power of sound community. Seek out those who challenge you to grow and step into your purpose. If you're surrounded with a bunch of like, yeah, yep, sure, that's good, like, and not really honest, call you up people, you're not in the right group to grow. If you don't want to grow, stay with those people. But if you want to grow in your leadership and lead boldly, you gotta be around people who are willing to call you up, who are willing to show you what truth is, to remind you of who and whose you are, to remind you of your purpose, of your power. Like, those are the kind of people you need to surround yourself with if you want to lead boldly. People who are going to call you up and call you forward, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's stretchy. That is a non-negotiable for leadership. Bold leaders are not meant to do this alone. They are meant to do it linked arm with other bold leaders who constantly call them up and vice versa. Last one here, take bold action every day. I said it with the consistency piece. That's the key component for bold leadership. But now how to integrate that is take bold action every day. That means leadership is built, as I mentioned, on consistent action. Every day, make decisions and take steps forward, trusting that God will guide you along the way. He will always be guiding you along the way, but it's up to you to take bold action. It's up to you to do the thing He says to do. He's going to guide you. He's going to provide the how, but He's only going to provide the how, the who, the resources when you take bold action. God doesn't reward passivity. He rewards bold action. So if you want the how, the prosperity, the who, the what, it's up to you to step up, lean in, even in the face of doubt, fear, uncertainty, and take action. And He will reward you. That's what He does. But you have to be the one to go first. God doesn't just pour into you by you just sitting there. No, He meets you where you're at, for sure. So if you want more, you gotta lean in more. You gotta lean in more. So what bold action can you take today? One step forward in your leadership. What is that? One thing you can do today to strengthen that bold muscle. Just one thing. Move forward with confidence and trust that God is leading you. God has got your back. Recap here. Bold leadership is about clarity, integrity, courage, and consistency. It's about stepping into your God-given purpose and leading with confidence and faith. That is the formula. You do that, and you are going to call forward the most incredible clients, communities who are all in. Like, I don't want toe dippers. I don't want, I'm kind of in, I'm kind of not. Like, as we go into the winter semester for Untamed University, as I'm recording this in real time, and if you're listening to this in the future, we've got many future semesters in the books. I am only calling in women who are all in. I am only calling in women who are ready to get in the arena, to see results, to show up fully, to lead boldly, to lead courageously. That means I have to lead by example. And I do, to the best of my ability. Thank God for His strength. And so if you want that too, claim it. And don't just say it. Claim it and then walk the walk and talk the talk. Get around women who are also claiming it. So when you have that, all of this, you are set up for success in your business, in your leadership, in all ways. You are already equipped to lead. You're already leading. You led yourself this episode. You led yourself to brush your teeth. You're already equipped to lead. The world needs your unique gifts. And it's time for you to step in that role with confidence, with knowingness, with trust and faith. Can I get that from you? Can you just fingers up, raise your hand, give me your holler in your car, walking the dog, working out, wherever you're at, say, yes, yes, I can. And if that's something you're claiming, maybe you're watching a YouTube video, comment that right now. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. And if you're listening to this, come DM me. I'm claiming it. Screenshot this episode, post in your stories. I'm claiming it. Whatever you have to do to initiate that, to integrate that, I encourage you, I invite you to do that. My invitation is to take action today by reflecting on what you need to do and who you need to be bolder in your leadership, to be bolder in how you show up, to be more courageous. What needs to get done? Who do you need to be? And what do you need to do to make that a reality? And again, what is one thing you can do today to align more in your purpose, to align more in your God-given assignment, so you can call forward those who too want to rise with you? That is your homework. That is your action item. And I am so excited to hear how this episode impacted you. If you haven't left a review yet on the show, this is a great opportunity to do that. You can do that on iTunes. Share what you love about the show. Share a takeaway, whatever that is. That would be so appreciated. If there's any women in your life, a certain woman that comes into mind, send her this episode. Ping it forward. Spread the word. It's me and you right now, sister. And so when you spread this message, not my message, it's just I'm a vessel to bring truth forward. There's someone else that most likely needs to hear this. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. That way you can be notified for all future podcast episodes. And we're going to be in the future dropping some short, kind of more vlog, like me with my camera, just shooting whatever wants to come through, sort of videos on the YouTube channel as well. So stay tuned for those. I hope that this episode supported you. I pray that this awoke something within you that activated courage, boldness, confidence, conviction, knowingness, faith, all of it. And if it did, will you do the thing I always ask? Will you show people what it looks like to radiate joy, to be joy, to walk that walk of joy, and to show people what it looks like to step out in faith? Thank you for tuning in. Cheers to boldness. Cheers to leadership. It is an honor to rise alongside you in this beautiful community. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.
I pray that this episode supported you, served you, activated you, and don't forget that Untamed University winter semester is officially open for enrollment all the way up into the first week of January. So if you are listening to this between now and January 7th, I'm almost positive, make sure to head to theuntameduniversity.com and enroll for winter semester. This is 3 courses in one: personal branding, community building, and monetizing your ecosystem with high converting leads and offers. So you can step fully into your God-given assignment, create the impact and income you came here to create. Head to theuntameduniversity.com to join us for this winter semester. I hope to see you in there with this thriving community.